All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome to the ASAP Wrestling Hour. I'm Ray Cruz, your host. William Morgan. How you doing, William?
How you doing, man? Good to be here, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. We're getting ready to talk some wrestling here today. On this show, we had the Extreme pay-per-view on Sunday. We had SmackDown on Friday, and we had Monday Night Raw this Monday. So, getting started here on this thing here. Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch all of it. I had some stuff I had to get done going on. Some of the matches were good. Some of the matches weren't. But the one thing I want to talk about is Sasha Banks coming back on the Extreme Rules. So now what do you think about her returning again? You know, she's been off and on wrestling. They haven't really gave us a true answer why she's been fluctuating. We think it's COVID. We think it's a lot of things. We think she was in the doghouse with Vince McMahon. So what is your take on her coming back once again?
I think it was the latter, that she was in the doghouse with Vince for whatever reason, and it could be several reasons knowing Sasha. I think she was in the doghouse. I don't think she was happy with the way things went down, and she started running her mouth maybe a little too much, and Vince didn't like that. So Vince sat her down. But it's nice to see her back. Hopefully she can keep her attitude in check, play ball, and do business, man. Because again, WWE is in trouble. AEW is coming out full bombs blasting, particularly in the women's division, as we saw my girl Kiera Hogan signs with AEW. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about Kiera. Kiera Hogan is a baddie, man. She is a baddie. That girl is ooh-wee. But I digress. I'll get into my Kiera Hogan love later. But anyway, they're in trouble, and Sasha could be kind of like a catalyst to at least help keep the WWE women's division afloat. But she's got to be willing to play ball, and do right, man. Attitude's got to go. She got to see the bigger picture. But I'm glad to see her back.
Yeah, I look at it this way too. With Sasha Banks, we really don't know exactly what's her deal, what her deal is, and stuff like that. So I really don't know what's going on with her, how she got in Vince's doghouse, not playing ball right, or not doing what he wants her to do. Or is she just running her mouth off again? You know, sometimes she runs her mouth off and gets her in trouble on the outside. So if you're looking the outside, if you're looking in, I don't know if she wants to leave WWE or she wants to stay. She comes back, she does okay, and then she leaves again, and it's, off to the races with that. So before we get into the Extreme Rule portion of the show, we're going to go ahead and talk about Friday Night SmackDown and Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch's thing going off before Extreme Rules. The headline, the catchy headline I saw today when I was researching this was Bianca Belair lays out Becky Lynch ahead of Extreme Rules. So, with these two battles, do you see them continuing this the way it's going, and eventually Bianca Belair gets the title back?
Well, you know how that sort of kind of goes sometimes, to where you look good on a go home show before the pay-per-view, then you look bad on the pay-per-view. But I think eventually she will get the belt back. The fans want that. Not saying that Becky won't still be over, because she will always be over with the fans regardless. But I think Bianca will get it back, because at the end of the day, you can have Bianca sort of kind of lead that division into prominence again. Becky will be there to assist it, but I think they're high on Bianca. I think they really like her a lot, and I think she will eventually get that title back. And sometimes you can get over more as the hunter than being a hunted. So I think she will get it back.
I mean, if you talk about that scenario, that brings it back to the old days of wrestling where Magnum TA was always the hunted, hunter. He was searching. He was trying to get that world's title. He had that car accident that kind of disrailed his career. He would have been a great world champion. And one day, it was a great NWA TV title holder, U.S. title holder. And he also held a tag team with Dusty Rhodes. But, going back to them back in the old days, I mean, sometimes slow playing for the title, getting it back, it works into the advantage of the person that don't have the title. Mm-hmm. And it also works with the person who has the title. So you see them along on the thing. But now, we're moving into this, pay-per-view, and we talking about Apollo Crews, how he needs to drop this gimmick, his Nigerian gimmick. I liked him as when he was a regular, just Apollo Crews.
Yep.
Do you see Nakamura and this Apollo Crews war continuing?
Nah, I don't. It just the matches just seem awkward to me that they have. They don't look to be real smooth. I've seen them wrestle a couple of times. They just don't seem to be smooth matches to me. They seem kind of like disconjointed matches. They're not smooth. I don't think it's going to continue. I think it's going to stop at some point.
Yeah, and then Boggs stood outside. One of the things in this match was Boggs outside near the end. As he was recent weeks, his ability laid out Ozzy was impressive. He was truly benefit from his alliance with the artist. So, I mean, what do you think about this thing? Do you see Nakamura dropping the title, then him and Boggs going for the SmackDown tag team titles?
I would like to see it. But do you think Vince likes Nakamura that much, even to put a tag title around him? I mean, that's a world championship. And it's not like you dealing with the IC title or the US title. That's mid card, that's mid tier. Even with a tag team championship, you're still a world champion. You think Vince likes Nakamura that much to put a world championship belt on him, even the tag title?
I don't know. But I don't
know, man.
Eventually, he's gonna have to do something because Nakamura's getting he's too far over in the Japan area, and you're risking to lose him to go back into Japan to go for the world title. So he's going to pretty soon request for a world title match or some kind of belt with the world title, world in it. So that's coming along. But how Vince is with the smaller wrestlers. He had a hard time putting it on. He had a hard time putting the world title on Eddie Guerrero, and then on Rey Mysterio, and then on Jeff Hardy. So over time, I might see Nakamura doing it, but Vince has got that hard act. Unless Vince, I don't want to say it, but if he decides to sell the title or something happens to him in his health issues, then we might see who eventually would take over this WWE. Right. And to me, I'm at a stage right now that Vince is like selling all these wrestlers off, like Bray Wyatt and all that, and then the monster Braun Strowman, and then you have AEW picking up some of the wrestlers and stuff. And there's a report going out right now that AEW might be signing Bray Wyatt before the 90-day non-compete was over because something in his contract could be went in court over the WWE where he could compete early in the AEW.
Uh-oh.
So if he comes and joins AEW, that's going to be a really thing. Now the next match here is Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega. To me, I think it's time for Liv Morgan to step up to the next level. She's been putting the work in. She's over with the fans. She's got the looks, the real pretty looks and stuff like that. And she's getting a little attitude, going with her wrestling skills and stuff. But what you see what Liv Morgan is at right now, do you see her she's going to either leave or or Vince is going to either put her in a chat. If they lose Liv Morgan, they could be in real trouble in that women's division.
Vince needs to either shut up or put up with her. I think he's just dragging his feet because he doesn't know what he wants to do with her. She's been working hard. She is over with the fans. And she's willing to do business. She's willing to put people over. She put Zelina over on Friday night. So Vince needs to put up or shut up with her. I can see her as a world champion. If you can put that world championship on Bliss, you can definitely put it on Liv Morgan and be just fine.
Yeah, to me, I think with Liv Morgan, and if you watch some of her techniques and some of her wrestling skills and things, the way she's been putting on that in her workouts, I mean, she's got some kind of moves that she does over the top rope. And I don't know how she does it, but she's got this move that Vince won't let her do it. But she's been practicing, she's been hitting, the key on. I mean, it's time for her to, it's time for Vince to take the reins off of her and let her unleash her.
Yep, I agree.
True repertoire than that. So I mean, you had Kamala come out and interfere, distract Morgan. They go, code red for the win. To me, it's just a little subtle stuff that Vince is telling me that he's not trying to keep Liv Morgan there, or Liv Morgan's going to be unhappy. I mean, she's going to be like, Ruby Riott. You let her go, she's going to end up in AEW, and could eventually help, Ruby Riott over there in AEW. And so, I mean, that's if you look at AEW women's division before all these signings, they were trash. I mean, they only had like Britt Baker, Penelope Cruz, and then they were trash the rest of the way. Yep. And, Statlander was getting that. She came around and stuff like that. I mean, but letting all these female wrestlers go, now AEW's female wrestlers is strong. It's been stronger and stronger. And WWE is getting a little bit weaker here. So if you look at the situation that you're looking at right now in the AEW and SmackDown and WWE, you got to tell me, what's going on here? What's Vince doing? Is Vince trying to? Is he really trying to plunge the WWE to sell it to like like Disney? I heard Disney was involved. I heard Fox was involved. I heard CBS was getting involved. Who's behind these CBSs and Fox and Walt Disney trying to get a hold of WWE? And is it possibly Shane McMahon somewhere is involved in all this, overthrowing his dad to take
possible, possible because I think Shane, he does this thing on TV, but I think at first I was thinking he didn't want it. What's up, Nate? At first I didn't think he wanted it, but I think he wants it. But I think he wants to do it from behind the scenes. He doesn't really want to be known. So yeah. It could be Shane doing some stuff behind the scenes, but I do think also that Vince is trying to position this to sell it. I think he's tired of running the day to day. To be honest, he looks terrible, and I think that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to sell it, and he's trying to put that company to the point where he can be as profitable as he can before he puts it on the market.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at selling and you're selling all these talents away, then you're putting your money where your with the risk is, because people are going to start shying away because you're letting all your talent go.
Right. But at the same point, though, it'd be more attractive to other investors, and then they can build it up from the way they want to do it. So
what are your thoughts about this on that, Nate?
So I did read something. This was like a month or two back. They had a theory that they think that AEW is going to be the one buying WWE.
I mean, they got the cash for it. I mean, dude.
Tony Khan got more than enough cash.
I mean, Tony Khan. I mean, his father's back in AEW. And for his dad, you got to understand, the Jaguars might be down in their luck to playing right now, but that organization is almost over $1 billion.
And making money and still making money hand over foot.
Yeah, and then if you look at his bumper business and stuff like that, with cars that come over that's incomplete, I mean, he's making all his money is coming from the Jaguars and the bumper of a car that they put on these cars that come over not fully developed. So that means he's saving these tax money to these things. So I mean, Shad Khan and Tony Khan's got enough backing to pull this off, but will Vince do it? That's the question.
I think he'll pull that, but you come in there with the right amount of money. I think he'll pull the trigger in a heartbeat.
Well, what's the money? What's the right money? I mean, he's over $1 billion himself.
That's true. He'll
Yeah,
probably go ahead.
I think he's willing to buy it, but I don't think if if all us, I think Vince might want to consider other options first, like maybe his family buying it instead of Tony Khan or over Tony Khan. But I think he might want to use it like as a last resort because of some of the people that left AEW. I can see maybe there being some sort of beef happening with the wrestlers and all that kind of stuff that left WWE for AEW.
Yeah. And let's move on to this Kevin Owens beat down thanks to Rick Moss, and Happy Corbin shows off his new custom suit before his new talk show. So
Get out of here,
Is
man.
it just me? Is it just me, or Happy, or whatever Corbin you want to call him? The gimmicks for him are just getting worse and worse and worse and worse by the week.
I don't know. Now they're giving his own talk show.
Bruh. Man. This ain't no Piper's Pit, I bet.
I mean,
my gosh.
what? I mean, what is character? Happy Corbin. I mean, what? I mean, are they doing like a Happy Gilmore type deal? You know, just been happy. You know,
Probably. Because they run out of stuff for him to do.
And then by KO, you think KO is getting ready to hightail it out and find himself over in AEW eventually?
When January hits, I think he's gone.
Me too.
Because that's when his contract expires.
Yep, I think he's going to. I think he's going when January hit, he is out of there.
I think Survivor Series, December, that is his last main event.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he ain't been the world champion. I mean, he had that one chance to get the world champion, and they messed that over.
Yep.
I would love to see him as the Universal Champion.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the situation with the SmackDown Championship. So, are they letting Roman Reigns carry this title to beat CM Punk? Beat CM Punk's record, so they get CM Punk off the record books.
Could be. You've seen petty stuff like that before.
Yeah, I saw when CM Punk was just about to leave WWE. I saw like his Raw match, not his Raw match, but his Raw promo that he had when John Cena was passed out. I saw what he said and the reason why he was leaving WWE. That was said on Monday Night Raw. I saw that, and I can see, you know, I could see, hey, maybe he's gone. They have like all of his records, you know, just taken away because of that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think they should leave CM Punk alone. I mean, they had him on that Fox pregame show. They had a chance to re-sign him, but then CM Punk decided to back out at the last minute because I think Tony Khan kind of offered him a little bit more money. So do you see? So we're all talking about, you know, AEW they're bigger than WWE now, you know.
I just feel like WWE does a little bit better. I mean, maybe not with this last main event, but I feel like AEW. I mean, WWE does a little bit better with their promotion, but when it comes to storyline, AEW is far supreme.
All right, and you got Nikki Ash versus Rhea Ripley versus Tamina and Natalya. So this match, I mean, to me, I think Natalya is just wasting Natalya's career, really. I mean, she really didn't have the title that long, and she's got the tag team titles now. Why don't they put the world title back
I
put a
feel
little
like
on her.
not just that they didn't have that title on her for long. It's not just that, but she's taken so many breaks with their tag team partner, and they just haven't appeared on the show.
Well, she was injured at one point.
She was injured. Well, yeah.
Yes, that's true. But I feel like, hey, maybe she should have had the two had more should have had more title defenses than just that.
Right. I understand. I got you on that.
I just think that they take Natty for granted a lot of the times. They look at her more than Mother Hen and a semi-reactive or semi-retired wrestler. Yes, she's still active, but look at her age. She's not the youngest chicken. She's not the youngest chick in the world, though she looks very, very good. She's not the youngest chick on the roster. And I think that's something that they look at as well. And I think that's why they don't push her, because she's looked at as a mother hen, someone who they are looking to for her to get the rest of the younger talent ready in the women's locker room. And two, if you look at her, she's older than most. So they probably figured that, hey, her time has come, her time has passed to be a world champion. I disagree with that, because if you look at males who are her age, they've been world champions several times over, i.e. Triple H. But I just think that they take advantage of her.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that. So, but if you look at it this way here, I mean, that's why I think they need to, have a own women's brand, because they have so many, so many in between matches. These women don't get enough things. And to me, I find myself thinking that the women's matches are more important than the guys' matches.
I can see that, because the women matches are more for the guys' matches be more for, hey, championship belts, but the women's matches is more for position on that ladder in the back. So I agree with that. I agree with that.
I mean, what do you think about that, Nate? You think the women should have their own promotion?
Yes, I think they're not just their own promotion, but they need to get more tag teams in there. They have what?
Lord have mercy knows they got the talent for a tag team division.
They have 3 tag
They got
teams.
more, right?
Well, other than NXT,
Right.
than NXT, the NXT has plenty, but there's just 3.
Yep.
And one of them was just put together so quickly, like it just came like a snap.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
They got
I mean, I understand that too, and then what is WWE doing, Naomi and Sonya Deville? I mean, she kicked her out on Friday night. I mean, what's going on there? Are they trying to break
I think
Naomi into the tribe with Roman Reigns and them?
They need to.
yes, but I think this storyline is more for Sonya than Naomi. I feel like, because I'm wondering if Sonya is considering maybe going back into wrestling.
Well,
Only because of Naomi's comment, and that's the only reason I'm saying that.
Yeah, I seen some things that came out. Sonya Deville said she's not ready to get back in the ring. She wants to do what she's doing right now because it gives her a little bit of leeway, creativity wise. I understand that part, but I think this storyline is more towards Naomi, because I've seen where Paul Heyman is writing. I finally figured it out. I got some news on that. That Paul Heyman is writing Roman Reigns storylines.
Okay. Makes sense why they're together like this did.
Because he came out and said that somebody was writing it before he took over. He said the creativity. He said it wasn't getting to the stalemate, and he's the one that brought Brock Lesnar back into the fold quicker than what they really wanted to, because they were trying to hold off Brock Lesnar to another year. But John Cena's movie thing kicked in a little bit too early than what WWE was expecting and what John Cena was expecting, because they were trying to drive John Cena all the way up to Royal Rumble, and then had The Rock pick it up from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, and now they had to move that up kind of quick. So are we still going to see The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, or are we going to see Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania?
I think we're going to see Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns the next pay-per-view. It's the only reason why I'm saying The Rock.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't think they're going to do another Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre repeat. Then going back at it for 3 pay-per-views in a row.
God, I hope they don't do that again. I really hope they don't. But we got some big news. If you watch it, and I know we kind of skipping around a little bit, Raw was decent. So I gotta give him props on Raw. We saw Bobby Lashley come out. Yeah, he ain't the champ no more, but he looks strong.
Yeah,
he looks strong.
I got some take about that when we get to Raw here in a few minutes. Let's talk about this one. On Montez Ford, and the insult by the Usos and Roman Reigns, square off with Paul Heyman. So what do you thought about that match?
Why do this?
I felt like it was predictable because we all knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. But I kind of like the storyline behind that. I mean, but the one thing I wish, though, is that I wish that would have been a 2-on-1 handicap match instead of a 1-on-1.
Right.
Both Street Profits versus Roman Reigns.
This match was booked by Heyman, Convince, Adam Pearce, and Sonya Deville to book it. Ford welcomed the opportunity to deliver against the head of the table on the Bloodlines way to the stage. The Usos met the Alpha Male and distracted them from joining Reigns for the main event. Ford gladly took advantage of the event odds clearly by his drop kicking the head of the table out of the ring as Ford continued to strike. So I mean, if you look at Montez Ford, I mean, his athletic ability and his ability to jump up to kick them high drop kicks. I mean, he really did get him connected on the face of Roman Reigns, and so I mean, how about the Superman punch? But Ford reversed it into an impact DDT. I mean, for the smallest, the built stature of Montez Ford, but his height and his agility, I mean, he gets advantage over some of these big guys, and he held his own all the way up to the point, where they laid out both players, and then the lights went out, and then the Demon arrived. Finn Balor took out the Bloodline with the kendo stick and blasted the WWE Universal Champion. So what do you thought about, Finn Balor, the Demon coming out at the end?
So I like that. Going towards the end, because I feel like they're putting more emphasis on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I do have one question, though, about the match itself between Finn Balor and Roman Reigns at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. The rope broke. Was that botched?
No,
No.
it wasn't botched.
Oh.
Just like it wasn't botched when the Rockers and the Hart Foundation fought. That wasn't botched either. That wasn't botched either.
Nope.
Or when the ring imploded.
Yup.
No, that the ring ropes were rigged for it to happen to make that an effect for the Demon and all that. So I mean, it wasn't botched.
Not at all.
Because if it was botched, WWE would never came out and said, all that. But they came out and said that they had that thing set up like that. Took an effect of its own. It's like the only one that really had, if you notice, the WWE really set up was the Big Show and the ring collapse.
Oh yeah,
That was on purpose.
that was a SmackDown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was on purpose. So if you watch the way it went down,
That was awesome.
somebody hit the button and the ring just started. You could tell if it's botched, if it's not botched.
Yeah.
So
Most deaf.
So we're going to move into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Liv Morgan was the first to enter the ring for the grudge match against Camilla, who grabbed the mic on her rival, gave a quick promo. So what do you think about Camilla? Do you like her character, or did they mess up her character when they took away Reginald?
I've never been a fan of hers. I think she was at her best when she was with Truth. Once that ended, it's just been down here for me on her ever since.
I'm the same way.
I just don't. She's not interested enough to care. She's got to have somebody with her, someone who she can bounce off of to care in terms of a character. She's not strong enough to last on her own. And I'm still pissed off that Asuka took a championship loss to her. Come on, man.
So I do have a question though. Do you think that WWE is thinking that as well? Because they have been putting her with a lot of matches or promos with oh my gosh, I'm blanking on a lot of names today.
What are you talking about? With Selena Vega and all them?
Selena Vega.
Yeah.
They have been putting a lot of promos and matches with Selena Vega as like tag matches, things like that. I think they.
Are you think they're going to put them together as a tag team then?
I think they are.
They got to do something because by herself, nah, bruh.
I mean, to me, I think Camilla lost a lot of oomph when they made her drop the Queen of Staten Island. That was her niche.
And that was to her. No one else had that. No one had that.
Yeah.
I don't think no one else has ever had it since she dropped it.
Nope. So if you look at it that way, the Princess of Staten Island hit an X Factor on the near ball.
I feel like just in general, I feel like WWE needs to put more emphasis on these gimmicks. With her gimmick being the most beautiful woman in WWE, why doesn't she have a boyfriend?
Why they took Reginald away?
Yeah, they took Reginald away from her.
That's true. But why not get somebody else?
Because they probably ain't got nobody else.
Exactly. They probably ain't got nobody else that want to deal with her either, because she looked like she'll be a prima donna.
That's probably why what's it called? Big Cass left her.
I don't know how Corey Graves do with it either.
But Liv Morgan got the win, so you think they did that right by giving Liv Morgan the win?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. I think it's time for Liv Morgan to step up a little bit here. They had. I don't know if you caught the pay-per-view, but when the pay-per-view started, it had the Spanish and English people talking over each other. It had a little bit of technical issues, and it sounded pretty messed up, funny, really. Because you had the Spanish guy, and you had the American guy talking. You had Michael Cole talking. So you thought they would communicate together and stuff like that, but it was kind of a glitch. I got it fixed after a while. They said what the one here analysis said that Kamala doesn't get enough credit for how good she is. I don't believe she's that good anymore.
Enough credit for how good? What?
What?
Yeah.
What you looking at, bro? What you looking at, bro?
That's what one analyst on Bleacher Report said.
Oh my gosh, man!
I'm gonna give you this whole comment. This is what his take on this whole comment was, and that's why I brought this up because it caught my eye when I started reading about it. Carmella doesn't get enough credit for how good she is. A lot of people still judge her based off her early work but she has improved by leaps and bounds over the years.
More like deproved.
Exactly.
I don't know what he's watching.
Regressed.
Unless he know, he must don't know anything about professional wrestling.
I got a question, and you can say the same thing about Alexa Bliss. Tell me your favorite Carmella match. Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait. You can't. Go back and think. You can't.
No.
If you can say her match with Asuka, but you all know that was a sham. You all know that was a shame. That was WWE trying to get Carmella over. And what she do with that title? Nothing.
So
honestly, my favorite thing with Alexa Bliss, like period, was her promo last week on Raw.
That's sad.
It was a match. It was a match.
Sad.
It was promo.
That's sad. You can't even tell you can't even find a favorite Alexa Bliss match. You can't find a favorite Carmella match. That's sad. These ladies been wrestling for 18 years. You can't tell me your favorite match.
Well, I can tell you, Alexa Bliss, her against Ronda Rousey when she double jointed her arm out of place to make it gruesome.
Oh, I'll take the SmackDown match where she lost against Naomi for the title.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. See, I like Bliss now a lot more than I did then. But even now, she ain't got a favorite match. Even now, you can't say this is her definitive match.
She ain't been in that many matches since she took over this gimmick.
That's true. That's true. I give you that.
So, what you going to take? The best one is her and the doll. Come on now. So
I'm shocked to give her that match with Charlotte. I'm shocked about that because I didn't think neither one would want to lay down for the other.
No. So the next match came up was AJ Styles, Xavier Woods started the bout, the phenomenal one. So what do you thought about that 6-man tag match in the Extreme Rules pay-per-view?
Why?
You knew the New Day was going to win that match. You knew they were going to win it. That was foretold. When Big E won the title, that was foretold.
My only problem is why did they advertise the Hurt Business coming back together on Monday Night Raw instead of the pay-per-view?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Because they still ain't figured out who's gonna come back as the Hurt Business. They're gonna bring Sheldon Benjamin and Alexander back. They still haven't figured that out. That's probably why they waited till Monday Night Raw to try to get some interest on it.
That makes sense.
That
makes sense. Yeah.
Are they going to bring 2 guys up from NXT?
That makes sense.
I mean, or is one of the New Days going to become a traitor and go and join forces with them?
Oh no, no.
I was still waiting. I've been waiting forever for Big E because I thought when he won the title, he was going to turn heel and beat down both those boys. I was getting excited and happy, and then they teamed up.
called it like ever since he won Money in the Bank. I called it was going to be Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
So how do you think about this unicorn stampede during the match?
Unicorn, oh God.
They did a unicorn stampede until Lashley rolled out of the ring. He overpowered Kingston, tossed him across the square circle, almost came in and continued to destroy the former WWE champions. The heel kept Kingston down a few minutes before he countered Lashley's finish. Woods came off the rope, a hot tag, and went on the Almighty. So, everyone had a chance and almost gets the win, but Big E pinned Lashley for the victory.
I like AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley better as a face than a heel.
You like Lashley better as a face?
Yeah.
The only thing that made me mad with Lashley, man, he's got the softest sounding voice for a big dude I've ever heard. He sounds like a freaking Smurf. I swear he does. He sounds like a freaking. I'm gonna get the. When you hear when he's not in character now, when he's not in character, he's giving an interview. He has the softest voice for a big guy I ever seen. Where is the beast, man? Where is the beast?
You ready for this? He was a drill instructor in the United States Army.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Wow.
What happened to that?
You ready for this? So just think about this now. Think of hearing Bobby Lashley calling out somebody and thing in a little soft voice. The people ain't gonna take him. Only why they take him serious because he's big.
Yo,
I can't hunt. Can you get me? You know,
that be killing me, man. You big old dude. You can't tell me that man ain't what 320, 325, 330. You can't tell me he ain't. It got the voice of a Smurf. He fight like Tarzan, but he talk like Jane. Come on, man.
so the next match was the Usos versus the Street Profits for the title. The Usos won.
You knew what was going to happen too. You just
So,
knew that was going to happen.
I mean, Extreme Rules to me, I don't know why I love Extreme Rules. Not watch it is because that every match was predictable. I was sitting here guessing what matches was going to win, so I kind of figured the whole show out.
Yeah. Because I kept getting the update from Bleacher Report, and I just kept seeing retain. Bruh, what's the use of having an event if everybody's going to retain?
So what do you think about Charlotte and Alexa Bliss match and her tearing up the doll?
I'm glad that dog gone. That dog was creepy, man. That dog was creepy. I ain't never seen a whole program dedicated to a dog. Never ever.
I liked the match. I liked the setup because who else was going to do it? Who else was going to tear up the doll? And then Charlotte Flair. Maybe Nia Jax.
I would have told the doll up.
Yeah,
I
would have torn the doll.
I would have told the dog, look, what the hell? You could have got me out there. I would have told it up.
Then you got Alexa Bliss who sold the tear up doll pretty good.
She did. Yeah, I saw clips of that.
Yeah, she just sit there. So I mean that whole storyline just got creepy and after creepy and stuff like that.
And you knew who was gonna win. You already knew.
Damian Priest versus Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus for the U.S. title.
You knew who was gonna win that too.
Actually,
look, I just think that Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, I just think their championship days are done. With the way WWE's going right now, they're trying to go new, they're trying to go young. I just think, don't get me wrong, Sheamus and Jeff Hardy can still go. But I just think that WWE wants to go new, they want to go young, bring some new blood. With the way everything's going right now, that's why I kind of figured Sheamus and Hardy wasn't gonna win the match.
So I don't know how to explain this other than if there was going to be a new title holder coming from Extreme Rules, I kind of figured it was going to be Jeff Hardy. With that match, with that triple threat match. But even then, I kind of figured Damian Priest was going to retain.
You just knew it. Wasn't no intrigue in this.
And I look at it two ways here. We got to kind of move on wrong because I want to get to Raw real quick too. So we got about almost 12 minutes to go here. So I'm looking at that, but to me, I think Vince is now going to bring Jeff Hardy and Sheamus feud back together because the way Jeff Hardy attacked Sheamus during the match, stuff like that.
Which is why I wanted Jeff Hardy to win the title, so that feud would go back.
Well, they got some with Damian Priest and the Miz too. I think the Miz is going to probably come back, and if Damian Priest drops the title, I think he's going to drop it to the Miz.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Now this feud would go over a title. That would be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they got to get Miz back into the title reign, but it can't put him straight to the world title. He's not been that focal point in that world title. Putting the U.S. title on him gets him a little bit back with the title, get him a little bit back dealing with the title gimmicks and stuff like that. And then eventually pulling him to the good side and him taking over the WWE Championship if Lashley gets it back.
I want to see good Miz against heel Sheamus.
I don't know. I think Jeff Hardy and Sheamus' chemistry is better.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just I want to. It's not like a feud. I don't want to see it as a feud. I just want to see it as a match.
Oh, I just want to say it as a one-off. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, then you got Bianca Belair, and then her and Lynch, and we know that they off and on again. Sasha Banks comes and interferes that match, goes into a count, disqualification. So you know Bianca Sasha Banks attacked and she destroys the EST before taking down Lynch too. So this is what the second pay per view that you know that Bianca Belair gets tore up in a match.
Yeah.
So you think she's dropping out of the good faces with Vince McMahon now? Because that's how Vince McMahon does with wrestlers.
I just think they're trying to build Bianca up as a sympathetic figure, a sympathetic competitor, so to speak. Someone fans can feel sorry for and even but because you tend more to get behind that person, the more feeling you put behind it. So I think he's trying to create her as that, if it makes sense. Because that's Becky she's in there with. And now you done brought Sasha to the picture. There's some heavyweights, man. And you got to do something to get, to keep the fans behind her and make her still be a believable contender. So I think that's sort of kind of trying to put her in the sympathy spot, so to speak.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, one of two ways that you can look at it in that view. But if Vince McMahon always has that thing. He destroyed the wrestler that was feeding his hand for a while, and then try to build her back up to something else. But to me, for her to get sympathetic is she's so strong as a competitor. I mean, you're really building her down to make her look weak again. Basically, that's what that's the whole effect. And that, do you think that Vince is really trying to do that, or is it Vince trying to make her really, get her back on the right path? Try to, light a fire underneath her.
Right. Kind of like being a Marine, build down to build up. Yeah. I got you.
But I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, you see what Vince did to, he had the screw job on Bret Hart, got it well off of him.
Right.
You had a beat down of what was it? Ric Flair, to beat down Ric Flair for
yeah.
Get the title away from him. They tried to beat the Undertaker down, but the Undertaker wasn't having it. So Vince was trying doing that. So I mean, do you really see that Vince is really trying to either to destroy her? I mean, the Street Profits if you look at the Street Profits too, and her husband Montez Ford, I mean, they were really promising with the titles, and now all of a sudden they're getting beat down again like jobbers.
Right.
To me, it feels like Vince is going back to the jobber days where, Norman Smiley, he was a jobber, but then he ended up being pretty good, and he had some matches running with him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think WWE's just got to put a brakes on and say, hey, look, what are we doing? Are we really tainting ourselves this bad, or is it just bad writing?
Right.
So we're going over to Monday Night Raw. The Big E, New Day started the show off. So we give you takes on the Big E and slapped Lashley in the face after he went back to the corner. So Lashley unloaded on him with the rights and left. So are we definitely going to see the Hurt Business get back together, and who are going to be part of the Hurt Business?
Ooh, that's kind of tough. Because it ain't going to be Benjamin. It's not going to be Alexander and Benjamin.
Not because they tore that storyline apart.
Yeah, that tore it apart.
They had a good thing going. They tore them apart.
Tore it apart. So it ain't going to be them two again. That's going to be tough, man.
I kind of disagree with you. I think it is going to be Alexander and Benjamin.
You think so?
Only because of Monday Night Raw. If you asked me that question yesterday, then not yesterday, Sunday, then no, I would have said probably somebody else. But only because of what we saw on Monday Night Raw.
Right.
But My question is the whole deal is, you know, who 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 can look like the Hurt Business? The Hurt Business before was just was Shelton Benjamin and Alexander. I mean, who what other descent are they going to put in there? Are they going to mix it up?
The Viking Raiders? No, I'm kidding. I'm
Dang,
kidding.
dang, man.
I mean, are they gonna mix it up?
What you
Keep
gonna
it,
do? Get
keep
Bobby
it.
Lash, Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, and doggone it. Dang. I can't remember the last one I had in mind. But Keith Lee should be a part of it just to give him something to do. They ever talking about they renamed him. They renamed him from Keith Lee to something else, which was stupid. Should have left the man alone. But put him in it, just give him something to do. Come on, man. We need to see more Keith Lee.
Well, I had Keith Lee joining, but then also had one of the New Days turning on one another.
I can see Xavier. I can see Xavier over there.
And that's a good point too, because Xavier Woods could be jealous because Kofi Kingston's had the world title now. Big E's got a world title.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a thought that that's probably a bad one. But what about Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, and Omos?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
But I mean, can Bobby Lashley carry Omos? That's why they put him with AJ Styles to carry him.
Right. I don't think Bobby can carry him. AJ can because he can talk on the mic, but I don't think Bobby can carry him because you got AJ covering from the mic. Bobby got the softest voice in wrestling, and he gotta have MVP with them to carry.
That's
him.
what I was saying. MVP
I mean, they probably have the MVP carrying him too. I mean,
Yeah.
MVP can't carry two wrestlers.
That's tough. That's tough.
The only thing I can see is Paul Heyman is about the only one out of a manager's area that can carry two people at one time.
Yep.
Matter of fact, Paul Lee has carried multiple wrestlers, 3 to 4 wrestlers at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't he do that with Cesaro at one point? If I remember correctly.
No, he did it with Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and when he was over in ECW before he went over to WWE. He carried who else did he carry? He carried somebody else, and then he carried Brock Lesnar throughout all his his career and stuff like that. So I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, Keith Lee is the only one that could. Big E hit a spear. Lashley's off the apron, but stood up, deceased.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. They didn't attack, but the monetary distraction allowed Lashley to hit a spine buster.
Yeah. You can really redo this right because you can get some big dudes over there. If you get somebody, you got Bob Lee, you'll have Keith Lee. If you can get some 2 other big dudes over there, you can make that Hurt Business really be a Hurt Business. I don't know which 2 dudes you can get over there, but I would love to see them be a true business and start laying some wood down to some folks. Because that old Hurt Business, look, Bobby was the power. I get that, but you got two cruiserweights basically in Alexander and Shelton. So I just want to see some big guys over in the Hurt Business to make it a true Hurt Business.
I mean, Shelton Benjamin carried himself because he was a amateur wrestler too. So I mean,
Right.
So I mean, I understood your point when you seen Shelton Benjamin and all them. We think the regular Hurt Business comes. Is that just a tease?
I think so.
Teasing until they get. I can tell you this: they can have them as the Hurt Business, but then they can have some two goons in the back take out these 2 guys, and then join the portion.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious, but it would get them so over too.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay. Here would be the two perfect people that would do that. Eric and Ibar.
No, that wouldn't sell it. I mean, Keith Lee will sell it by himself. I mean, because he's
Yeah.
agile and stuff
oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
Just think about it, if these guys come up and then all of a sudden they start talking to Lashley, and Lashley looking at him, and then next thing you know, you see Keith Lee come out of nowhere, throw out one of them. Then you see some other guy, probably from NXT,
Throw him
showing
out.
up there. To me, I think Cross would be a good fit in that.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, we. And he got and if they put Scarlett back with him, ooh. I like that.
Keith
I
Lee
like
and Aaron Cross.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. If you put your girl back with him, heck yeah.
Now I do have one question. Kind of getting off a little bit off topic. What do you see them doing with John Morrison?
Eventually he's gonna take care of the Miz.
Yeah, he gonna feud with Miz.
Yeah.
He gonna
They've
feud with
been talking
Miz.
about it. They've been talking about that's one thing they were talking about when he came back was, but I don't know. He needs to start that drip gimmick first.
He does. He does.
That's
he
a
needs to
new-
get back into this. I can't remember what the gimmick was.
That parkour gimmick.
I was
No.
thinking the gimmick that he had in 2009.
Okay.
He needs to get back to the gimmick with, and then
I'm sorry, 2006.
go back and
2006.
resign Marlena, and then have him and Marlena come back together. That's about the best run that Morrison had in a while.
Man, that's gonna be the next Shawn Michaels Marty Jannetty breakup right there when they go against each other with Miz and Morrison. That's
Hey,
gonna
it'd be funny if they just redid the barber scene. Have,
that'd be hilarious.
and then have John Morrison duck under Miz kick and then throw him through the glass.
Oh man.
So we're gonna get into here with the Viking Raiders and Angel Garza and Roberto Carrello was support Garza while Auburn and was in Aries corner. So did this match do anything for y'all?
Hold on, I'm looking something up. No, not really, because it was really fast.
Well, that was just one of those put in filler matches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
didn't really do anything.
That match wasn't even the TV time limit. That was just throw together in the back.
I mean, Angel Garza and Roberto together, man. That just looked like an odd couple. Them two don't seem right together and stuff like that. Then you have Reggie versus Ricochet for the 24/7 championship. This championship doesn't change hands so many times, and I lost track.
He reminds me, Roberto Carrillo reminds me of Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto Del Rio.
Maybe because similar name.
Don't let Paige hear you say that.
But I mean, so we go to the 24/7 championship with Reggie versus Ricochet. I mean, to me, I don't know. I think Ricochet just needed to tell Vince, hey, let me go. Let me step my 90 days non-compete. Let me go over to AEW so I can show you who I really am.
Right.
Because, I mean, they held this guy back. I mean, this guy was good on the independent scenes. He was
Great in the indies.
good. He held his own with Randy Orton and matching down. You put him back in these little cupcake matches with the 24/7 championship. So, I mean,
the only good thing about this, nobody got hurt because it was a no contest. So,
yeah, because you had R-Truth and Golak ran in and caused the DQ. Ricochet took them out, but
what was the purpose of this match?
Just to waste time.
It waste time because they were running out of thing.
And this is why I hate the 3-hour Raw, because this is what happens when you have a 3-hour Raw.
Yeah. I mean,
they should make it back to 2 hours because.
Yep.
Then you had Keith Lee versus Eric Talzabi.
The Bearcat, Keith Lee. The Bearcat. Y'all don't forget that. The Bearcat. Get out of here.
I mean,
Get
this
out
match,
of here.
they graded this match as a D. You know,
Make him sound like a trucker. Bearcat Lee.
he's just like a trucker. Come on out.
Come on out.
Then you got Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the U.S. title. Any take on that?
Man, Sheamus ain't done it. Man, Sheamus ain't really been the same since he ran away from the Nexus. I ain't gonna sit here in front. Y'all remember he ran away from the Nexus?
Yeah.
That joke was gone. But seriously though, no. And like I said, I just think Sheamus' time is done. I think him and Jeff Hardy's time are done. They're older competitors. They've been world champions before. I just think their time is done. WWE's trying to go new school as much as possible, with the exception of Roman Reigns. They're trying to go new school, get young talent promoted. I just think Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, their days as champions are done. Not their wrestling days, but I think their days as champions are done.
Then you got Jinder Mahal, Veer, Shanky versus Mustafa Ali, Mansoor, and Jeff Hardy. Now that's an unusual crew right here. Mustafa Ali, Mansoor, and Jeff Hardy.
I had to look at it
That
twice.
is weird.
I had to look at it twice. Hey.
I mean, they're all small against these gigantic guys.
Mm-hmm. Don't make no sense.
And all, Veer tagged in and ran Ali over with a running shoulder tackle before turning him inside out with a huge clothesline for the win. I mean, that guy's move is like not really a move that you want to see a big guy do anyway. A shoulder tackle and a clothesline for a win. I mean, the only person that had a clothesline for the win was JBL and Nikita Koloff.
Yeah.
But I mean, how about Karrion Kross versus Jason Riker? Kross being his own guy without his female friend. I think they need to move her up and put her back with him because I mean this character's not the same.
Didn't they just get engaged?
I think so.
They did.
Yeah, I thought they did. Yeah.
Maybe they have to get married, and Vince will bring them up if they get married.
Yeah.
So you had Riddle while Randy Orton was on vacation this week. Riddle had to go alone, and he took on AJ Styles with Umos in the corner. I think Riddle's getting a good shake with Randy Orton. I think his character is getting up there now. I didn't like it at first, but I kind of get it now when you put Orton with him. So, how you rate this match?
Man,
it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best match of the night. I would probably put it at number 2 though.
Yeah.
Man,
they gave him a B+ for the match, but I mean, yeah, I think without Orton there, it just really laid Riddle's playing out. I mean, and then we had the clash of Charlotte Flair versus Doudrop Raw Women's Championship.
Good and doggone well who's gonna win that. Before them ladies left backstage, you know who was gonna win.
I like that match. Well, sort of. The match itself, it was predictable, so, but I love the ending.
I like Doudrop.
I like Doudrop.
Yeah,
I like her as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But when Eva Marie came in, and especially when Shayna Baszler came in at the ending, that was funny to watch. Because I'm not a big Eva Marie fan at all.
Yeah. They said even when music hit, she distracted Doudrop long enough for Charlotte to get the win. Eva celebrated until Charlotte took her out. The match was rated D+. They could have gave it.
Dewdrop, boy.
All right, Big E versus Bobby Lashley, WWE Championship in a steel cage. What y'all think about that?
That was the best match of the night.
Well, anything you're doing with a steel cage it should be the best match of the night.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, if you look at it like that, Big E called Lashley running him, hit the, I don't know this move, the Kukarana. He whipped the Almighty into the cage, steel cage, a few times before Lashley bulldozed over it with a clothesline. E avoided the spear, hit the toss Lashley into the corner. The championship was able to avoid the hurt lock, but wasn't able to counter a throw from the former championship. Big E stopped him from climbing off of the cage, but the Almighty put him in a dragon sleeper over the top rope.
Yeah.
Then we had the tease of Big E was able to catch him again, slammed his head into the cage a few times as he tried to climb. Benjamin and Alexander came out to stop him from escaping. Woods and Kingston ran down to do the same thing to Lashley. They fought, but it turned out to be another thing happened at the beginning of the night. As he celebrated his win, Drew McIntyre came out on the stage and pointed his sword at the champion to indicate he wanted the next shot. So now the question is, are they about to put the belt back on McIntyre?
No. Hey, no. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. No.
I wanted to see the him in the U.S. title. That was what happened to that.
I don't know.
We don't see them. I just think again, McIntyre's young, so he's going to be up there in the hierarchy of the ladder. But I don't want to see that. I won't see that match anymore. Leave it be.
So that was Monday Night Raw. I want to talk a few more things about Triple H. He had successful surgery on his heart and stuff like that. Do you think Triple H is now, when he gets fully recovered, will take it back over NXT, or will Vince enjoy the ruling NXT?
Okay, man, I don't know. What you think, Nate? Give me a minute on that one.
I think it's going to be a little bit before he takes over, but yeah, I think he's going to eventually take over NXT.
I think at some point too he'll be back. He's gonna be all right until he's ready to come back. Though it's not like he's gonna be missing any money, but I'll be happy to see him come back because then NXT you'll probably get you'll get Vince out of there hopefully, you get Pritchard out of there hopefully, and you get some good storylines and some good matches once again when Triple H gets back.
Yeah, I look at it this way. I think Vince is going to destroy NXT, and then Triple H is going to be, when he comes back, I have a feeling that he's going to be backing people, and then eventually WWE will be sold to him. Cause now, I can see when WCW was bought, they used the storyline with Shane buying WCW. I can see Triple H buying NXT, but Shane taking Raw and SmackDown. So, what do y'all think about that?
I mean, the only thing about Triple H, again,
I think flip that. Triple H doing Raw and SmackDown, and Shane do NXT.
No, you got to take Triple H back to NXT.
Yeah.
Triple H, NXT is the best thing you got going right now. You can't have Triple H anywhere else. You can't, because the thing with that is, if you take him off, you put him on something that's monitored by Vince. You're gonna handicap Triple H.
I got another scenario for you. How about Triple H buying NXT, Shane McMahon buys Raw, Paul Heyman buys SmackDown?
I love Paul Heyman to do that. I would love Paul Heyman. Can you imagine what Paul can do with it?
And then turns back down into ECW.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Oh man.
Yeah.
But I like that scenario.
So
but no, you got to keep Triple H on NXT. You got to. That's his baby. That's what he brought up. You got to keep him on NXT.
Well, time is running down here. It's 11:15. We went about 15 minutes over here on the ASAP Wrestling Hour. But next week, we're going to recap Friday Night SmackDown. We're going to recap Monday Night Raw. But we also gonna have a discussion about wrestling and where wrestling is going to be in the next 10 years. So stay tuned on the ASAP Wrestling Hour. I'm Ray, Nick the Great, and William Morgan.
Hold on, one thing.
Go ahead.
The next week is the draft. So starting this Friday is the first part of the draft, and Monday Night Raw will be the second part.
I will discuss that on the roundtable part. And then we'll also add on the next 10 years of wrestling, where wrestling is going to be in the next 10 years. Will WWE even be existing in the next 10 years? So I'm Ray, Nate the Great, William Morgan. See you later. This is the ASAP Wrestling Hour. Everyone have a good night.
Later, guys.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.